All right, you heathens, all you internet trolls out there in Minnesota and wherever else, blowing up my mentions, asking me about the time Max Kepler hit 5 straight homers off me. All right, you win. I'm going to break down Max Kepler hitting 5 home runs off me. And even better, I'm going to go through the entire season worth of at-bats to show you how the first at-bat of the season and the second at-bat of the season influenced at-bats later on in the season. So you win. You happy now? I call this crisscrossing the corner. You know, tunneling is a crazy concept. There's no way a big leaguer swings at that. If this ball's 1-7, he absolutely crushes it. Boom, that's the breaking point. All right, and here we are. We are in at bat number 1, pitch number 1 of the season. First thing to say about this game in particular is it is 26 degrees Fahrenheit during this game. So this influences things in a way because also this is the second game of the season, I believe. So hitters are just coming out of spring training. They're not fully linked up yet on seeing the ball. They haven't had a ton of at-bats. Hitters always get better when it gets warmer and when they get more at-bats under their belt. They're a lot more dangerous middle of the summer than they are first game of the season, much because it's cold. This game is freezing. So anyway, here we go. Pitch number 1, I'm going to play this one through because it's just not competitive. Oh, some things I should mention. Going into, we got strike zone up here. So going into the season, our report on Max is anything above this line is good, hard. And anything below the line and to the right of this line, soft, is good. So the only area that you can't go is hard here and soft, kind of in this same soft up here and kind of in the middle here. So this area soft, don't go in this area hard. Anywhere else, you're okay. So that was our report going into the season. Now, Max did a great job in making a couple changes to his swing, to his approach, that he could cover those pitches, and he had a huge 2019 season. We just didn't know that at the time. So this is our best information going in. Anyway, here we go. Pitch number 1. Oh, that's pitch number 2. Let's start this over. So pitch number 1, I'm trying to go up here for a strike with fastballs. We're going to work primarily up here with fastballs and then over here with soft stuff or below the zone down here. This game also, I have a brand new changeup that I haven't thrown before. So I think I threw 30-ish, 25 to 30 changeups in this game. It was a much better pitch than it ever had been before. Coming out of spring training, I was super confident in it. So you're going to see that play out in this at-bat. So here we go. First pitch of the game. Max is leading off. We're going to go over here. Fastball up and away. And we miss. It's a waste pitch. Doesn't really make him do anything, so just reset. Next, we come back here with a fastball, just middle. All right? And if you notice, Max at contact is fully extended. He's getting to full extension through contact here. There's a tiny little bend in the arm before, and he is fully locked out after. Head right down the ball, right? Pretty good balance. If you watch, he stays pretty much straight up. So he had a really good cut at this pitch, as you would expect for a fastball right down the middle. He just missed it. The barrel to ball ability just wasn't quite linked up yet, or it's just a human mistake. He just missed a good pitch to hit. All right? But again, talking about this scouting report, God, that's a terrible line. Come on, lock it in. Talking about the scouting report, anything hard that's not here is good. So this is borderline, all right, but it still gets into this acceptable area of where to throw fastballs, at least what we thought going in, all right? So might seem like it's pretty much down the middle, but it's borderline a decent pitch for this specific hitter. All right, next pitch, here we go. Oh, that pitch was a pop-up foul, so now we're 1-1. And then we go a little bit up and a little bit more away. Good pitch. Again, he kind of gets extended, but this swing isn't he pushes through this ball a little bit. If you watch his arms, he kind of, the hip goes this way a little bit, and this has always been Max's swing. The shoulder goes this way a little bit as he's right here. So you can see through these frames, here goes the shoulder, here goes the hip opening up. So any ball that gets over here, he kind of has to extend his arms in a pushing motion to get to it. And you'll see later on what he does to pitches that are in this area and why this swing works great to pull those down and in pitches. But he kind of pushes his hands through the ball here. You can see this, the wrists kind of snap out here, they roll. There's a little bit of pushing, and he kind of, finishes through almost, this is a defensive swing almost. It's kind of what I get from it. He wasn't fully on this pitch location. He was pretty close timing-wise, but he kind of pushed through it and didn't really get all of it. And then this is a pop out. So at bat number 1, pop out to third base. Here we go. At bat number 2, we start him off with, there's the changeup. All right, 86 here. Again, any off speed below this line is usually pretty good to him. At least, this is what we thought going in. This is the report on him for this game. So changeup, pitch number 1. Let's roll this back a little bit. Here we go, pitch number 2. And this is the fastball. Now here's our line. Okay, this is dangerous. That's very dangerous. But if you look at, let's go back to the prior pitch. This changeup comes off, look at the trajectory. All right, this changeup is coming, maybe gets to about here, height-wise. So it starts off in, gets to about there height-wise, and then ends up middle. The next pitch is a fastball, and it starts off, it gets to about the same height, and then it's 95. So you can see on the swing here, the arms never quite get fully extended. This is after contact, and you still see a little bit of bend here. All right? And you can see this arm kind of still bent. He was a little bit late on this. This is him trying to pull his hands in a little bit quicker. You can see that elbow right here. Oops, you can see this elbow right here get kind of tight to the body. These hands start to creep in going this way. So he's a little bit late on this pitch. Barrel lags a little bit below, and he pops this pitch up. All right, there it is, pop up to third base again. But if you look at the pitches that I've got him to pop up on and the pitches he's seen a changeup here, he's seen a fastball here, he's seen a fastball here, he's seen a fastball here, all kind of grabbing the middle of the plate, and he's kind of flaring these balls off this way. But again, this is early in the season. All right, so I get away with some pitches here. Just part of it. This one is super telling, and this is where the tide kind of started to turn, this at bat, for a couple different reasons. And this should have told me something. Look at this pitch, first pitch. All right, this is 95, but look where it is. Again, here's our lines, fully in the zone where he crushes the ball. And what does he do with this pitch? Well, he crushes it. All right, look. Well, first off, let's see here. This ball is a line drive down into the corner. What up, Supercuts? But look at his body. So here we go. See this hip? This is why Max hits this pitch really well. Hip goes out a little bit, shoulder starts to go this way, but the hands are able to pull inside the ball here and then cut this way really quickly, and it creates a lot of whip with the barrel. There go the hands this way. Look at the barrel fly through there. He catches this ball out front. So if this is the plate, the pitches that he was fouling off, he was catching somewhere at this level. Right? This pitch, the pitch that's inside here, he catches this with the barrel out here and yanks it. Because he can pull his hands in here and whip the barrel around really quickly to get to the inside pitch. When he pulls his hands in here and the pitch is over here, he has to push his hands back out, and this is why he's flaring the outside pitch off that way like we talked about. All right. Wham. Ball gets pulled way foul. Probably should have been a homer. And this actually, you'll see later in this video exactly why I say that, because he hits that exact same pitch out. Again, it's cold, it's early. So now we're 0-1. So we come back with what looks to be that same type of pitch. This is a changeup that starts kind of middle and it fades off away. Pretty good take, but again, keeping track of the pitches that I've thrown him here. I just threw him a changeup. All right, so I've only thrown him fastballs and changeups so far. Ball, this pitch here, another changeup. This one starts in and up and comes back middle. Dangerous location for it. A little bit out in front, a little bit here, a little bit of reach. You can see the reach because his body goes this way. It isn't as straight up as he normally is. Okay, so he's buying himself some time. He's out in front. He kind of pushes the hands forward. And in order to do that, the body has to kind of tilt over and buy him some time. So he's a little bit out in front. You can see this foot here, knee there. Everything is just, he's a little bit out in front of this pitch, and this is why he didn't hit it. If this is a fastball, this ball's absolutely nuked. Probably goes 450 feet up into the porch there at Minnesota. Okay, so get away with that one. And now we're 1-2. And this specific pitch right here is where the entire season of at-bats really started to turn around. All right, this is the first breaking ball that I've thrown him. This is actually one of 2 breaking balls I threw this entire game. So I save it, and I throw this for a strike. I mean, just as strike can be. It starts up in a location that he hasn't seen yet. Everything he's seen has been starting in this kind of location and either staying there as a fastball or running down this way as a changeup. All right, so this pitch freezes him. This pitch starts up, and it breaks down into the strike zone. And you watch his body language. He sees it. He gives up on it. And then it, drops in. It's a strike. Max knows it's a strike. You can see he's going back to the dugout. He's like, oh, wait, what? Let me play this off as if I am not out. I know it's a strike. I get a little foot kick here like, you got to be kidding me. Little eye roll. Roberto's like, bro, what are you seeing? Can you see today? I don't know what that is. That's a terrible drawing. I was trying to draw eyes. The eye emoji that goes, yeah, whatever. We're just going to get that off the screen. Berto's like, bro, what are you looking at? Can you see that everybody knows this is a strike except for the umpire? So whatever. But this is important because now this at-bat extends. So I've thrown him fastballs and changeups primarily, which isn't going to be my normal attack throughout the year. Now I've thrown him a curveball. I get what I'm looking for, which is a strikeout. It doesn't get called. Now what has to happen? Well, it's 2-2, so I got to throw him another pitch. Okay, here we go. We throw him this changeup. Again, a little out in front. Kind of pushes the hands. You can see his balance is a little bit off. Barely nicks this. Don't get it. So, but again, in a 2-strike count, we've gone back to a changeup. So let's keep track of that. Next pitch here. Now we try this backdoor slider. So this wasn't intended to be a backdoor slider. This pitch was intended to be here, starting off on this line and then breaking this way. All right, so the changeup just went this way. We get a foul ball. I wanted to throw a slider that started here and went the other way. Again, this is start of the season here. Ball slips out of my hand, a little bit cold. But to him, to Max, he looks and says, oh, 2-2. He tried to throw a backdoor slider up here. That's what he's perceiving. All right, so now we're 3-2. Now we have to go back to throw a strike. Don't want to walk him. And this, I get a fastball right there in the good location that I'm trying. This is where I want to throw most of my fastballs to Max, is up. All right, and you can see this ball beats him. Kind of draws the elbow in, barrel's a little bit late, arms are bent, hands get fully extended only after the ball's beat him, and this ball is fouled back. Takes a good swing, but he's late on this ball. And then we come back with a pitch that looks similar, a changeup, and we get the changeup. Now look at where the changeup crosses. It's down, but it's over the plate. Now we're 3-2, all right? So I have to throw it for a strike. But keep in mind, I said that he laced a fastball that was right here, and he hit a changeup, and he swings and misses. He gets a changeup that's right here. Also, he got a curveball that ended up about here. So keep these 3 locations in mind, all right? And also, this at-bat extends, and I have to throw him a couple pitches. I threw him a backdoor slider, and I threw him a changeup in a 2-strike count to get him out. Super important. Here we go. So that's that. Next time I face him is midsummer. He's seen a lot of pitches, probably has 200 or 300 at-bats under his belt at this point. It's warm, different location. We're in Progressive Field. Again, here we go. Here's our lines. This is still what we know about him. So I get this fastball up enough. See the barrel ball slices off the barrel here. Again, this ball's away. This is where we want to throw him. And then next pitch is a changeup that gets to a good location, but look where this changeup ends up. Right there. Looks familiar. This is the same pitch that he struck out on in Minnesota. Now he's beat on this pitch. He's early. You can see he's early. You know, hips are going this way, spine rounds, shoulder goes this way. Look at all this. He's just buying time. Everything's going this way because he's early, but he's able to keep the bat back, kind of pushes his hands forward towards the mound here, stays through it, and actually does a really good job of staying through this ball, even on a pitch that he's beat on. You see this torso leaning over. This is a dead giveaway that you're early on something because you're trying to buy yourself time to reach out there and get to it. Does a really good job, hits this pitch out. Now, going into this game, Max has got to be looking at the first at-bat that he faced me, or the first series, the first game that he faced me, and saying, what did he try to get me out with? Well, he got me out with kind of middle fastballs that I missed, so I'm not going to make an adjustment on that because when I get a fastball there, I'm going to hit it. I just missed those pitches. And he got me out with changeups down here, and he tried a couple backdoor breaking balls, a slider and a curveball, right? So here we go. He's probably looking for a changeup because I threw 29 or 30 of them the first time I faced these guys. And he's able to stay through it. There's homer number 1. Next at bat. Okay. Start him off with a curveball. So I go back to the dugout after the first pitch, and I was like, man, I felt like that was a good pitch. Ball was down, had a little bit more of the plate than I thought, but I'm like, I've never seen him swing at a changeup that well. Usually he rolls that pitch over. So I'm like, what's my best matchup that I have? I'm going to attack him with curveballs because our report says that if you get a curveball over here, you're fine. So we go curveball pitch number 1, steal a strike. Umpire calls it this time, which is nice. Go curveball again. Just this is a waste pitch that doesn't do anything. I'm lucky I didn't hit him actually. So just put that in the waste category. And then we get a fastball. Again, perfectly, we're north of this line, so in a good spot. This is where I'm trying to go. Catcher set up in. Even though the glove's down here, I'm trying to locate this pitch top shelf, preferably here. So I actually execute this one, and we get that swing. Arms draw in, they're bent. Hands don't get fully extended till way out here. It's just very late on this pitch. I missed this. I should have gone back to a fastball because he's so late on it, I can go up there again. Instead, I try to throw a curveball that tunnels off of this and goes down for a swing and miss. Also a fine decision, but I miss. Get this middle. He's out in front. Again, you can see this big torso lean, kind of falling this way. Dead giveaways that he's out in front. Ball gets a little bit below his barrel, and he just rolls this foul. Now, we're going backdoor slider again. Now, mind you, I didn't try to throw this backdoor slider the first game, the one that I missed up here, the 2-2 pitch. I did try to throw this one. I'm trying to get it down here. I missed a little bit. It's up here. All right, but this has to trigger in his head. Look, we're 1-2. Last time I was in a 2-strike count, he attempted a backdoor curveball and a backdoor slider. So he's kind of looking in this area. This pitch, my slider breaks a lot. So it probably started off as if it's a fastball this far off the plate. And it kind of came out here, and then it's going to break back. It gets to a location that's pretty good. I mean, it's elevated, no doubt. I don't want this pitch up. I want this pitch down. But as far as the lateral, I mean, this is on the outer third, if not the outer black of the plate. Look at his reaction. At no point does he bail this way at all. His eyes are trained out here, looking for this slow and kind of away area. So he stays on this. There's no, look at the shoulder. Everything is right through this ball. So this isn't him pushing his hands this way. He's taking an actual swing at this pitch. Now, it's a little bit defensive, but he didn't fall over. He was super well balanced. Look at this. He's really well balanced. Doesn't really fall. He just saw this pitch and swung at it. Was super late on this fastball. Didn't really freeze on this curveball and is right on this pitch. What is that telling me? He's looking slow and he's looking over here because he's not bailing this way. Okay? So now he's seen a curveball with 2 strikes, a curveball with 2 strikes in the first game, a slider with 2 strikes, and a slider with 2 strikes in the first game. So he's got to be assuming that he's getting something slow over here because that's what I'm telling him that I'm trying to get him out with. And so what do we do the next pitch? I make a mistake in pitch type. I try to throw this slider down here to get him to freeze. It runs back a little bit over the plate. This pitch still started off the plate, guaranteed. My slider runs about 15 inches. From here, the plate's 17 inches wide, so this is only 8-ish inches, 8.5 inches. So this ball had to start 7 inches off the plate. And he's a little bit out in front of it. But look, his arms are, like, watch his barrel. It's all going straight to the mound. He's not pulling off. He's not rolling over. He bends to buy himself a little bit of time, you know, but he gets through this ball. And you can see this. Look at his finish. Everything's directed straight through the ball. Again, not a terrible pitch as if you're freezing someone. It gets too much of the plate, no doubt, but it's at a good height. Remember, our scouting report is if you get soft below this line, as long as it doesn't drift into this area in here, if you get soft below this line, it's good. He usually rolls over this. These are some of the adjustments that he was able to make. Instead of, you know, whipping the barrel and kind of rolling over this way, he was able to turn the barrel and direct it, not the barrel, but his hands. He's able to direct his energy more towards the mound this year in 2019. This is one of the adjustments that he made, and he's able to stay through these pitches, and we get another homer. So now that's 2. So now I'm mad. So the third at bat that I face him, I'm going to make sure that I don't get any fastball below this, and I don't get any off speed in the zone at all. I'm going to throw it all below the zone. That's my intent here, and he's not going to hit another homer off me. It's super competitive at this point. So we miss. I'm trying to throw too hard. In previous videos, I've talked about when I try to throw too hard, I miss on this up arm side diagonal and down glove side diagonal. That's exactly what's going on here. So now I'm 2-0, and I say, okay, I'm going to make sure and get a ball above here and inside. 0 outs here, something to keep in mind. So I don't want to walk the leadoff guy, especially being down 3-0, you know. So that's my mindset. And we get a pitch. Danger zone. You know, right on that line. I'd prefer this pitch up here to be safe, but we get a strike. Great. 2-1. I'm going to throw another fastball in there because he doesn't handle fastballs in traditionally that well as long as they're up. But this ball creeps down again, about the same height off the plate in. And then I try to go away in this area and get it close, but it runs off the plate and we get a walk. So all fastballs in this at bat. And then next at bat, I say, okay, I'm going to go fastball up here. Even though Berto's glove is set down, my intent is to go right for his mask. And we get a ball that's yanked. Here's this diagonal. I know this guy's got 2 homers off me. I want to make sure and execute this pitch. I'm trying to throw it with intent. I yank it down and in. What spot did we say that he crushes? This spot right here. And that's where the fastball is. And he does exactly what he does on that pitch. He crushes it. So this is just mislocation. But the slider that he hit right here is me leading him to that pitch through the first game. And the changeup that he hit that was right here was me leading him to that pitch through the first game. And this fastball, look, these things are all basically in the exact same location. And he takes very similar swings at it. The fastball he is on time with. The other 2, he had to buy himself some time, but he was able to do so and direct his hands this way and hit him out. So that's the first game, the first 3 homers with the walk. Now we go to the next game that I face him. And here we go. First pitch. In my head, so going into this game, I'm like, I am not throwing him this location, period. I will not do it on any pitch. So we go up, because I'm trying to make sure and keep everything above this line, making sure I don't yank it down. So this is my mindset. Now, first hitter of the game, we're 2-0, and I say I got to throw a strike, so I'm trying to be more controlled, get this pitch here. What happens? Well, it ends up there. Does this look familiar? The foul ball, the first pitch of the third at bat in the first game in Minnesota, this is the exact pitch he got. He yanked it foul. Now he's got more at bats under his belt. It's warmer. He's seeing the ball better. He stays on this ball. Look at, like, he directs his hands directly to the plate here, or to the mound. I keep saying plate. but he stays through this ball. He's not rolling over it. He stays through it. Super balanced swing, and we get another homer. At this point, I'm like, it can't keep happening. So I'm not going to try to change a whole lot because it just can't. He's just not missing any of the mistakes. Usually you make a mistake and a hitter will miss it, but he's not missing any of the mistakes. He's just really hot for whatever reason. So now I'm going to go after him with, my best pitch, which is a curveball. And I know that, anything off speed on this side of the middle line is traditionally good to him. I've missed here with some off speed and he's hit him. So I'm going to make sure and get this ball up. Well, I yank it. My intent is to throw it over here, but I yank this pitch. Okay, I get a strike. He freezes. That's fine. People generally don't swing at first pitch curveballs, especially mine. So we get a strike. Now I'm saying, okay, I'm going to make the adjustment. I'm going to get this back door because I don't want anything to do with this location. And I feel like I just got lucky with this curveball because that's in his sweet spot. So now I say I'm going to make the adjustment. I throw this curveball. It gets, on that side of the line. This pitch is, you would consider it away. It's elevated, fine. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be down here. I miss. But all our information says if you get off-speed pitches to this part of the plate, you're okay. Because this is based on old Max Kepler, where hip would go, shoulder would go, hands would roll this way, the barrel would slice through, and this would be a weak ground ball to second base or to first base. Not what happens here. If you watch his hands again, he's taking a swing at this. His hands go directly through the ball. These couple frames, look at this. They're right through the ball, directing it straight towards the mound. Stays on it. And we get homer number 5. So wonderful. Now I go into the dugout and I'm like, this is a joke. I'm kind of laughing about it because it's just, I'm frustrated. I don't like giving up runs, but it's like, I can't do anything about this. It's just, that's just the way it's going to be, I guess. That's just what's going on right now. Then he squares to bunt, which is funny. We had a big shift on him, so he's like, okay, I don't care about the 5 homers. I'm just going to take my bunt this way and take a hit. Good for him. I'm not mad about this at all. But going out to the mound this time, I said, what is my best pitch matchup against him? And I'm only going to throw that pitch. And the best pitch numerically that I had to match up with him against was a cutter. Surprisingly enough, I had not thrown him any cutters leading up to this point, which is my fault for not making that adjustment earlier and not knowing that that was my best matchup, individual pitch matchup against him at this point in time. So we miss with the cutter, and then we miss with the cutter. This is where I'm trying to throw these pitches, by the way. I'm trying to basically wear out this zone up in here and get him to swing or get some called strikes up there. So I consider this an executed pitch. It's a ball. This one I miss with again, pretty bad. So now we're 3-0. I'm not throwing him a fastball here. I don't really care if I walk him. I'm not giving up a 2-run homer. So we go back. Now we get this pitch kind of, where I was trying to throw it. 3-1. This one, I miss with it. We get lucky. Berto does a great job of catching this ball. If you watch his glove, once the ball hits it, there's no drift this way. This is one thing that makes Berto really special. I know I'm breaking down Kepler, but really quick, if the ball's coming on this line and Berto can get his glove, anybody for this matter, if they can get their glove over here, and as the ball's coming in, their glove is moving this way, then the ball will tend to drag their glove towards the zone. This is what makes really good pitch framers really good. So Berto beats the ball to the spot, and you can see the ball is dragging, he's dragging it, and the ball's dragging his glove into the zone. We get a called strike. On the other hand, if the pitch is coming in here and the glove's inside and the pitch comes here and the glove's moving this way, it's going to tend to drag the glove out of the zone and you get a lot more called balls. So you got to really beat the ball to the spot and even get outside it so you can funnel it back towards the plate. A little bit of pitch framing for you guys. So now we're 3-2. I say I'm sticking with it, and end up right down in this area where Max crushes the ball. This is a cutter, and this is probably why it's my best matchup. He pulls this foul. I mean, he hits it way far. It's gone for sure. He crushes this ball, but he pulls it foul. And here I am saying I got lucky, which I did. Again, this is a really pretty swing. This is why he handles the ball in, because he biases his hip this way and his shoulder this way, but he's able to keep his hands coming this way and not roll them this way. So he stays through the ball and crushes it. And now I come back with a changeup that starts in his desired area. It's 3-2. We get this triggering. He's right on it. This is going. Hands are going to come this way, but... Oh, wait. I thought that was the changeup. Oh, that's right. Okay. This is the fastball. Bent arms, a little bit late. He's seen all off-speed pitches, so he's a little bit late on this. Doesn't get fully extended until after the ball's left the barrel. Rolls it over. I get lucky on this pitch, but it's probably because I've thrown him 5 or 6 straight 86, 87 mile an hour cutter sliders, and then this pitch is 96. At this point, I figured after throwing all those off-speed pitches that any fastball is going to beat him speed-wise. So I just hauled off and tried to throw a pitch basically middle and beat him on velocity. I got it down again, in the bottom half of the zone. I probably get lucky. This is where the tide maybe starts to turn for me because he should have crushed that pitch and he missed it. He was a little bit late on it. And then we come back with the changeup, which starts just like this fastball kind of in his honey hole here. He's out in front, hip goes this way. He's on this for speed if it's a fastball. And then you can see right here, the hands kind of roll. This is going to go this way. He's out in front. And we get a miss, finally. If you look at my body language, I'm pretty sure this ball is going to get hit. So I'm flinching. Like right here, my leg bends. I kind of flinch. I'm running away from it because I'm pretty positive this ball is going to get smoked. I'm like, oh no. And then I'm like, oh, great. He missed? Wow. What happened? I don't know what that's like. And then I made a video, which probably all of you have seen for Twitter, where it's him just hitting the 5 straight homers off me. And then the Rocky theme song comes on, and then I strike him out, which was bound to happen at some point just based on odds. This is a good pitch because it actually gets to this down and away portion. It's not here, so he can't buy himself some time and stay back on it and flick this ball out like he did the first homer he hit at Progressive Field. But that's what I got without getting any more long-winded than I already am. That's what I got for you. That's Max Kepler's 5 homers off me. How an at bat, the first game of the season, probably influenced a couple early decisions that Max made in the middle of the summer, which then influenced some decisions that I made, which then led to him continuing to have success. Kind of how at bats unfold over the season and why scouting reports are important, why going over video is important, some of the adjustments that I should have made that I didn't make, and not to discredit anybody by any means, but there's a certain component of luck involved in this as well. Early in the season when it's cold, I threw some pitches that were middle, and he fouled them off and popped them up. He didn't miss those in the middle of the summer, and then he did miss this pitch that was right down the middle in this at bat. So a human element to it for sure, but one of the crazier events that I've ever been involved in on a big league field. One of the crazier events I think it's ever happened in MLB history. I think there was one other time someone hit 5 homers in 5 straight at bats against a pitcher. Maybe it was the only time. I don't know. I can't imagine it's happened very often. So anytime you can be part of one of those crazy stats that in 100 years of baseball has not happened much, it's kind of a cool thing looking back on it. I was super frustrated the first 3 or 4, and then after that I was like, well, I guess if he just hits 10 in a row, that'd be kind of cool because at least it's never happened before. So that's what I got for you guys. That's Max Kepler and his 5 straight homers. If you haven't already, give me a subscribe, give me a like, give me a comment. Let me know what you want to see next. I got some good ideas coming. Everyone's been blowing me up about this specific sequence of events. So now that I've done it, if y'all have any other at-bats that you want to see, anything else you want to see me break down, would love to hear what you guys think, what you guys want to see, and also what you think of this analysis. Did I do a good job? Did I miss anything? Let me know what you think. But until next time, I will see you, all you internet trolls. I'll see you guys online.